Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where real estate meets real life skills. Hosted by Andrea Lane and Alyssa Bicar, each episode features investors turning their unique edge into long-term rental success.
Hello and welcome to the Built for This podcast. I'm your co-host, Alyssa Bicar, the consultress, here with my partner in crime, the fearless real estate investor, Andrea Lane. We interview real estate investors that bring their whole self to their business and how they approach real estate investments. So, Andrea, who do we have for him today?
So today we have Carrie Howder, but if you want to look for on TikTok, you're going to look for Chowder. So I really liked that. Thanks, Carrie. Carrie is currently in Maine. She has 2 short-term rentals and 1 long-term rental, and she got into the business not so long ago in 2021. So, Carrie, I'm really interested to learn more about you, and thank you for joining us. But my very first question to everyone is my favorite. What got you into real estate?
Okay, well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited. So what got me into real estate? I kind of fell into it. I wasn't expecting this. What happened, I was living in Boston, and if you're familiar with Boston, I had a condo in Southie, which is South Boston. And I bought it in 2007, right before the 2008 crash. And it was fortunate for me because I'm living by myself. I only had 1 income, and I did have a good job. I was working as a paralegal, and but after the regulations, there would have been no way I would have been able to purchase this property on my own. But back then, before the regulations came in, they were just handing out mortgages. I remember calling and saying, well, a lender and saying, well, what can I afford? And they said, well, what do you want to buy? And I'm like, well, you're supposed to tell me what I can afford. So anyway, I was able to buy this property, and I did whatever I had to do to be able to afford it. I mean, I was almost 50 years old, and I got a roommate. I sold my car. I went 9 years without a car. I did whatever I had to do, and I kept working and working. And then right when COVID hit, COVID was like an enlightenment time. It gave me a lot of time to just think about what I want, what I don't want, where I want my life to go. And so I decided I just couldn't do the real estate anymore. It was very stressful. I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I took a leap of faith and decided I'm going to invest in myself. And I had the 2 Airbnbs, and I'm like jumping way ahead of myself. I got into it because I sold my condo in South Boston because I wanted to just get out of the city. I had 2 large dogs. And by that time, my house had pretty much not doubled, but it appraised very well. And I had pulled money out, and I was renting my South Boston place, and I had pulled money out, and I bought a house in Waltham. So I was living there. So I decided, I'm going to sell my condo in Boston. And then I got hit with what I had no idea. I didn't do my due diligence. And all of a sudden, people are like, well, what are you going to do about the capital gains taxes? And I'm like, what?
Oh, you're speaking Andrea's language right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. I said, capital gains taxes, those are for rich people. I'm not rich. And I was appalled at how much I would have had to have paid in capital gains taxes. So I said, wait a minute. People get around this all the time. Rich people do this all the time. There's got to be a way around it. So I did a like property exchange, and I bought 2 properties in Maine, which then became Airbnbs, which then allowed me to take a leap of faith in myself. And I quit my career job, and now I am a short-term rental super host. Sorry about that. I got all over the place.
That's fabulous. What do you love most about it? I mean, you sort of fell into it, found a way you didn't want to pay taxes, which, by the way, I look for every loophole to not pay taxes or to lower my tax bill. So I love that. But you're in it, and what do you love about it?
I love the freedom. I have to schedule my own time. I love that I'm working for myself. I love that I'm helping people make memories. I love the reviews and everything, and it just fits into my lifestyle.
That's great. And yeah, I know you worked as a paralegal for a number of years. And so, how did the skills from being a paralegal, which really isn't real estate related, weave into your real estate business, and how did it make your real estate business a little better?
Okay, so it's highly organized. I'm used to changing paths on a dime. I mean, you go into work in the legal field and you think you're going to do this and this, and then something happens, especially in litigation, something will happen and your whole plan turns upside down. And so that is helpful, that I'm able to shift gears. I'm able to multitask. I'm able to deal with all different types of personalities. And something you learn as a paralegal is what I call manage from below, because the attorneys are obviously higher up than you, but you're managing them. So that helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I love that, the agility, right? It's like, well, plans change. You can't just cry about it and be like, well, this is over. No, no, no. This is the opportunity to sharpen your saw. Like,
Right.
I love that, the sense that I'm getting is that it's not only is it challenging, but then leaning into it, you make a new plan, you figure it out. So, bring us in. How has that happened to you inside of your real estate investment business? When have you had to like put that skill to the test?
Well, so, well, first of all, when you do a like property exchange, you have all these IRS hoops to jump through. It's not a simple thing. First, you have to hire the intermediator that's going to hold on to the money, because you can't touch any of the money. And then you have these timelines. You have to pick the house that you want. You have to give them a list of 10 properties you're interested in, and then you have a certain amount of time to close on that. And they don't care if you decide this is the house you want, and for some reason the seller pulls it, or it doesn't pass inspection or whatever. The IRS doesn't care. They're like, well, that wasn't on your list. So you really have all these hoops to go through. And so that was challenging. Anytime you have some type of special mortgage that's a little bit not the norm, it kind of sometimes throws the mortgage lender and your realtor. You got to make sure your realtor is experienced, or at least is willing to learn how to do them. The like property exchange, your mortgage people. So there was a lot of times where I go in saying, oh, okay, well, we're going to have the inspection today or something, or we're going to sign whatever today. And then the lender comes back with, not so fast. You get through the lender and then you go to underwriting, and it's just like, oh, I think my tombstone is going to say killed by underwriting. But anyway, so there's a lot of changes in that. And as soon as I bought the cabin in Kennebunk, it had been vacant for a long time. So when I walked in there, nothing was up to code. And I, coming from a litigation background, everything was, oh, that's a litigation waiting to happen. Oh, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Oh my gosh, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. So I had to, it took a while to get that it up and going. So there was a lot of shuffling around. It was during COVID, so it was very hard to get electricians, plumbers, all these people. I had to put a fence in because I wanted to cater to people that had dogs, because I have dogs. And so, I mean, the fence people were booked out almost, like, some of them were a year. They were so busy that it was really hard to get people in. So you had to manage all those schedules, and it was chaotic.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
did you live there while the work was being done?
So yes. So I hadn't quit my job yet. So fortunately, because it was COVID, we were able to work from home. So I worked from home, but in Maine, so that I was around when all this was happening. So yes, I moved up to Kennebunk when all this was going on.
Wow. That's that's a struggle, right? Getting the house ready while you're living in it. And
Yeah. My sister came up and helped me get it ready for the first renters. I think end of September 2021 was when I had my first guest go in.
nice.
Yeah. So like it sounds like your ability to think on your feet really has helped you to stay committed to the long game, to keeping what you want out of your strategy in mind. And now, in terms of your ability to grow this, like what are your plans? How do you, from now what you've built, you have a long term and two short terms. What now do you see that gets to come next for you?
Well, this year has been a challenging year. I knew it was going to be a challenging year, 2025, because I sold the condo in Old Orchard Beach because I wanted to get a house that was more with an income revenue producing during the winter, because the Kennebunk place is a summer. So I bought this place up by Sunday River, and it just hasn't caught on as quickly as my house in Kennebunk has. So it's been a struggle. So right now I'm focusing on marketing. I know it's going to be successful, but the problem is, can I financially ride it out? So right now I'm just focusing on, I cater to people that have dogs, multiple dogs, large dogs, no breed restrictions. The first thing I did, because I have large dogs, is invested in a fence. There's not that many fully fenced Airbnbs. The short-term rental business is very competitive, so you have to put yourself make a distinction for yourself. And so mine is the dogs welcoming. I have, when you walk in, there's pictures of my dogs, there's poop bags, there's a basket of blankets to put over the furniture. I don't have any restrictions on that. You don't have to put your dog in the kennel when a crate when they leave. I have toys, I have dog bed, I have bowls, I have all,
Wow.
but I have the fenced in yard. So I am just working on building clientele and guests for the Bethel, Maine place. And then we'll see where I go from there. I might branch out because all my family lives in Boise. So moving to Boise for April is kind of a test run to see, okay, will this work living so close to family? I mean, I love my family, but sometimes, if a little distance makes you love them even more. So I am going to look into that, and who knows, maybe I will decide I love it there, and maybe I'll sell my Waltham house and then purchase something in Boise. But right now I'm just working on making the chalet, I call it the Chowder Chalet in Bethel, successful. And my goal is to just keep all my properties renting, and I just travel around to wherever it is I want to go.
Well, so like real estate fits your lifestyle. Like you're making your business work for how you want to live. This is so inspiring to me. And, side note, and this is a personal connection thing. When my family used to go skiing when I was younger, and when it would snow and it would be like powder on the mountains, one of the things we would say as we got off the ski lift on the way down was powder hounds. So I'm like listening to you and being chowder in your branding, Carrie Howder, right? And also like the fact that you are building your business for dogs, all I keep hearing in my brain is chowder hounds. Like,
Yeah. It's
you're in here. Like you're taking up rent in my brain, and I love this.
And you asked me what my favorite thing is, and I hadn't talked about the dogs yet. And that's my favorite thing is I have had dogs, and I don't have any. It's just me and my dogs. And how can you have a vacation without them? You can't have a family vacation without them. And so many times people have to vacation, especially if they have large dogs, and they either have to find somebody to watch their dog. Ideally, you can get somebody to come stay at your house with your dogs, but you don't want to kennel them. I have a 14-year-old. There's no way that and a 9-year-old. There's no way I'm putting her in a kennel. And so I almost tear up when I read my reviews of people that come up and they are like, we are so grateful. We were able to come up with our 3 dogs. We never get to travel with them, or we've avoided taking trips because we can't bring our dogs. And it just, I know to non-animal people, it sounds crazy, but to dog people, you get it. You can't have a vacation without them.
Yeah. Seriously, I'm with you. I have large dogs too, and that's been one of our challenges. So I love what you're building. And I just have one question for you about like the entrepreneurship side. You said 2 years ago you left your quote unquote 9 to 5, which high five for that. I feel like entrepreneurship saves the world, especially when you're investing in lifestyle and real estate and having people have a place to stay and live and work. So you're checking all the boxes for me here, lady. In terms of your entrepreneurship journey, what were some of the lessons or the wins that you got to learn along the way as you stepped out and decided to live life on your own terms and be the captain of your income?
Well, the best thing is that I've done it. You know, it's been 2 years now. The first year it was just like, well, is this a fluke? Am I going to have to go back to my 9 to 5 job? And I don't have to. And that is just the biggest goal. I never really thought of myself as an entrepreneur. I'm kind of not even sure where to go with the question. I'm kind of at a loss. I just, I don't know, ask me something else that gets into it.
That's all good. So you're captain of your own ship at this point. Like to me, that's the definition of entrepreneur is like I became unemployable when I realized like I wanted to be responsible to and responsible for all the decisions that I was making and that I wanted to live life on my own terms. And the fact that the way society is structured sometimes, like I was having to let go of some dreams or, fit myself into a mold. And it didn't really feel that great. So I'm telling you that it feels like you have stepped out in a way that is like self-defined. And I just want to, applaud you for that. And also, there are some challenges that come along with that. It's like, now I'm chief cook and bottle washer sometimes. I need to outsource some of my stuff. So there's, a lone wolf aspect to being out on your own. So have you had any of those challenges around, being the sole proprietor, being the one responsible for how everything goes?
Yes, it's extremely stressful, and you don't have automatic income coming in when you have a 9 to 5 job. But I've found that it's success in just putting myself around people that know what they're doing. Like I said, I kind of fell into this, and so you need to surround yourself. One of the things that I compliment myself on, which people don't compliment themselves enough, is that I know what I know and I know what I don't know, and I know to get people to help me, and then you listen to them. So I surrounded myself. My realtor, who's now become a great friend. I found a housekeeper, I have a handyman, and that the key I feel is you don't have to be a lone wolf. I mean, you can be a lone wolf making your decisions and the buck stops with me and I'm the one that pays them and everything, but you surround yourself with a team and then you don't feel like a lone wolf. You're just the leader of the pack.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love that. That's what you are. Right.
Yeah. You're my pack.
And every business needs a good team around them. So glad you found one.
Yeah, right on. And that's honestly, that's the inspiration here. Being built for this means like it's taking life on your own terms. It's taking business and finding problems, solving them for people. You actively found a problem that you were experiencing that you wanted to see in the world and you created it. So, I mean, we're so grateful to have had you here and hear about what you're building in the next, 6 to 12 months around looking for other ways to inform your lifestyle, but also maybe new markets look like they're on your horizon. Again, having exposure to these kind of conversations is what moves the needle for people, being around other folks that are successful, that have their unique advantage. So that's what this show is all about. We want to thank you for being here with us. And if someone wants to learn more about what you're up to, or maybe they have dogs and want to come stay at your place, how can they go about finding you?
Well, both of my, the Chowder Cabin and the Chowder Chalet are on Airbnb and Verbo. And you can find me there. I'm also Chowder Investment Properties. You can find me there. I'm on the TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. So all those places.
All the socials. Well, we are so grateful to have you here. Listen, you get what you put in, and sometimes our hearts are guiding us as to what the world needs, because we need it too. So thanks a million for being here, being a guest with us, and providing yourself and your value in your business into the world. If you're listening to this on our podcast channel, do not go away. We have another amazing guest lined up for you right after this.
This wraps another episode of Built for This. If you're a real estate investor with a unique edge, apply to join us at builtforthisshow.com/guest.